joining me is Jen with Covert Faith Staging and Design. So Jen, I know I gave you a ring and then
you called me.
I did.
Yeah. So actually you were following me one day and I had a sticker on my car, and so that's how you felt?
I did. I felt. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to call Jen. That's right.
Yeah.
Because I was actually leaving this condo, and I think the stars aligned and I was like behind you and I'm like, oh my gosh, the light bulb went off in my head, and I'm like, I need to call her because I have this beautiful empty condo with a water view and it's missing something.
Right.
It's missing emotion. So there, I called in the professionals.
Yes.
What do you think? Like, are we excited? Or?
I'm totally excited. Thank you for the opportunity for having me. I'm really excited to get on with the staging of this home.
Yes.
And see what outcome we get from it.
Yeah, like we worked really hard. So we want you to come on inside and take a look.
So when you come into a home, my focal point would be focusing onto the kitchen, the dining room.
Yeah, because this is where you're going to do most of the entertaining.
Yeah, and the family room. So when a buyer comes in, they're like, oh, I can see myself living here. Right, and that's why you would really want to have a home staged and have things out, so then you have a sentimental connection with, oh, there's a plate here. I'm going to go and sit at the bar and I can have my breakfast here.
Right.
Or I'm going to put my couch in this direction so then I can watch TV and put my TV there.
Right. So staging is kind of, we're invoking emotion into the home.
Right.
So that's what a lot of buyers do. Buyers, they when they purchase something, they're setting a stage for emotion.
Right.
And that actually adds value to the property.
Absolutely. And so I think one of the key values is having your home stage, because for a real estate aspect, it brings the numbers up. And so then the seller actually is benefiting for that as well. So that's one of the reasons why I really recommend staging a home from top to bottom.
So I know you said the kitchen is one of the main focal points. So when coming into the kitchen, as a stager, like, is there something like too much, too little?
Right.
What are you looking to do?
So we want to take everything off the counters. We don't want to have clutter onto the counters. We don't want to have a home that, makes a buyer just anxious.
Oh, okay.
So too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So just a little bit is just enough. Just to again put that personal touch to it, or just that emotion. So.
Okay. So I see you've got some cute little fruit.
Yeah, for
here,
color.
a little collar, but most it's just very clean and open.
And so one other thing I would recommend is no appliances, because the cords, unless it's a really clean or brand new appliance.
Oh, the small appliances for the countertop.
Yeah, like a KitchenAid or a Keurig or something like that, but it needs to be really clean or not used. So.
So here we are in the dining room, and I mean, I love the decor. I could absolutely see my family sitting here, and before it was just like an empty space.
Right.
So you can kind of visualize like what size table, how many seats I could fit here, because some people have large families, and they're like, the capacity of the entertaining area is definitely something that they take into account when making a huge purchase like this. So
it definitely gives a visual of how many people can sit at a table, or how big your table is supposed to be like, because they might have a table at home that is really sentimental to them that they want to bring, so they can visualize, oh, I can put a rectangle table here that can fit 6 people to 10 people, or I can entertain, because a lot of people like to buy homes so that they can entertain. So that's one key thing about having your dining room set up. And even we could have had plates here, or something again with that emotional connection.
Right, for sure. And I mean, definitely, I use our dining room for all kind, just even casual breakfast.
Right.
So it's definitely a place to focus a lot of energy on when you're staging. So Jen, here's the living room, and I know everybody owns a couch. Everyone's got like a console table and a coffee table. Specifically, I know you kind of planned this out in your mind for this specific home. home because of the wonderful view we have. Can you expand on that for us?
Yeah, so this space to me would be visually smaller if you didn't have a furniture pieces in here.
Okay.
So I think putting an aerial rug, a sofa, chair, or even you could have put another sofa, but again, the area is small. So we want to make it inviting, make it feel larger than it really is. And again, a buyer comes in, they want to know where can they put their things, or would their things fit in the home. So we just really want to make it visual for them.
Yeah, so again, when someone comes in from the foyer and they're walking into the living room, we don't have a huge block here because you want them to be able to focus straight out to the water view.
Right,
this condo
or
has.
walk around the couch, yeah.
Jen, here we are. We're walking into the primary bedroom. I know we've done some really fun things in here. We've got the dresser set up, some artwork, and we've kind of left it a little bit open because maybe they have a different size bed or whatever. But being the master suite, what are the key factors that you think about when you come in here to stage?
When I think of a master bedroom, I think luxury. I think kind of the hotel linens. I think of, this is the primary residence in this home. So you want it to make sure that it feels warm and inviting and that buyer, again, feels like he or she could be in the space and put their furniture in. But it's the main buyer.
This is the purchase, making the purchase. So they're going to spend a lot of their personal time in here.
And this has an awesome view, so we didn't want to obstruct the view. So, I mean, they can imagine whatever they would like to put in that space, but I mean, it's its own artwork, so.
Right, definitely. Yeah, it is its own artwork.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
So we're on the back patio, and definitely with this view, I could totally see myself glass of wine or morning coffee with my significant other or whomever might be visiting. So I think this is a super awesome focal point.
This is definitely one of the big selling points of this residence is the view, because I mean, I could imagine myself sitting back here and having a glass of wine and just enjoy the view.
I'm here with my good friend Luke, and Luke, we've just finished a really awesome staging, and I know you saw the condo before it was staged. So once you walked back through when everything was done, can you explain to us the emotion or the different visual effect that maybe would affect a buyer as they walk through?
I mean, as you know, I'm in a lot of homes. So for us, when we walk into a home, staging is probably the most important thing we look at because we want to visualize it. Because a lot of these houses, there's a big open space, as you guys see here. And if there's not stuff around, it's hard to visualize what's going to go there, how's it going to look, what kind of space do I actually have. So when you walk into this, it's very inviting. You see all the space around here that's nice. It feels cozy, overlooks the lake. I mean, it's a fantastic job.
What would you say before and after when you walked in and it was just kind of blank rooms? Now you come in and you've got all of these areas filled with emotion and furniture and kind of sizing out the space. Would you say, coming in, if you were to offer on this home, would you put a higher value? Would you offer list price for this home, seeing it before and after? Give me a value perspective there.
Well, to me, when you walk into a house, you guys see yourself living there first off. So when you have a house that you feel inviting to, that you feel like it's warm, that you want to move into, obviously you're going to offer more for the house. So for me as a buyer, walking into a house already put together, I already have a visual of it.
Like that wow factor.
That wow factor, I want this house. It's very important to me. When we bought our house, we went into the house, we weren't even gonna look at the house because the outside of it, we came to the inside, it was just like this, well staged, and we're like, this is our house, and we bought it.
You didn't even care what the outside looked like.
We didn't care because the inside felt warm, and it felt like this is where we're going to build our family. So yeah, this is a fantastic.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
So myself as a seller's agent and a buyer's agent, I personally have seen staging act on both behalves. I've brought buyers into perfectly staged homes, and just watching their emotion and their reaction, the wow factor as soon as we hit the front door, I just knew from that day forward I needed to implement this with any of the persons I was representing selling their home. So just taking that personal experience for myself and implementing it into my own business was super beneficial. And I plan on making staging something that's going to be required, maybe not required, but definitely highly suggested for anyone that I help represent them in selling their home. As a buyer's aspect, again, I go back to walking into that home that was perfectly staged, and my buyers were just soaking it all in. And they definitely, we were actually looking at 3 homes that day, and they kept going back to the home that was perfectly staged because I feel like it set that emotion for them, that they could see themselves in that home perfect, and that they've connected with that home already even before we wrote the offer. So those buyers already had it set in their mind that this home was definitely valued higher than the other 2 homes that we saw, even though the square footage was the same, the price point was about the same, and the locations were very similar. So just to me, I was sold after that one experience with my buyers that staging was definitely something that benefits both buyers and sellers in any real estate transaction. So Jen, well, it's been awesome spending the day with you. I know we kind of got our hands dirty a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually had to take my heels off for some of the things. I've never operated a steamer before in my life, but it may be a new thing for me.
Yeah.
So thanks for all the pointers.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to host the open house this weekend here at this condo. And all thanks to you. I really appreciate you being here, putting your expertise into this, and I know my seller is going to be wowed when he sees what we've done here today. Yeah. So Jen, any closing words for us today now that we're kind of wrapping this up?
I just really want to thank you for this opportunity. It's been a blessing, and
Absolutely.
I'm just really pleased with all the work that you all put in here today. I don't think I've had that many hands.
Right, it was definitely teamwork.
Yeah.
Like we had our photographer, me, you, my husband,
Yes.
our friend Lou.
Yes,
so it was definitely a team effort.
Yes, we got it done in a short amount of time, and it's just been a great opportunity. So I'm really hoping that your buyers are going to enjoy this outcome.